fresh out of Hawaii. Once again, right here we have another package, and this time it's not camera related. Let's see what we got here this time around. Good pack job so far. Good pack job. Fairly decent. Let's get this out of here. Oh yeah. Sorry, keep bumping you guys. Alright, let's see here. Looks like I just cut this right there. Oh my god, it is bigger than I expected. Holy crap. Okay. Alright. Here we have an NVIDIA RTX. This thing is heavy. 3080 Ti. Oh my goodness. Keep bumping. There we go. That is massive. I tried my best to find a dual slot card so that I could keep my other cards in. Holy crap. This thing is huge. I was expecting it to feel similar to my 1080 size-wise, since it's still 2 slots, but oh wow. Okay. Let's yeah, let's get this in the rig. I've already taken benchmarks on the 1080. Yeah, let's let's go chuck this thing in here. 3080 Ti. Oh boy. All right. Hopefully my power supply can handle it. Alrighty. I already took the front glass off to avoid reflections. Now I'm going to do my best to carefully take this glass off as I need to clean it. There we go. Alright, so now we get to find out if I need to go to the other side of the computer and pull out more cable. But the first thing we're going to do is I need a screwdriver. One moment. 3D printed knockoff LTT screwdriver. So now we're just going to go over here, take off our retaining bracket, or like open it up, and then we will go ahead and start unscrewing these. First one there is the 1080. Now for the 1050, I'm gonna do my best not to hit the thing that's holding up the camera here. Although it seems to be inevitable with this one. Go. Alright. Get the camera stabilized here. Let's fix the lighting as well. Alright, let's see. Can I get these out like this? I think so. Unplug. Unplug. Now, gonna be honest, I do not know if the power supply is powerful enough to run this 1080 in tandem sorry, the 3080 Ti in tandem with the 1080. There's our 1080. We will compare the sizes of the cards in a moment here. And then here is the 1050. 1050. We'll go into some other build. Oh, I gotta loosen up one more screw. And this is going to be even worse than the last one because of where I put the mount for the camera. I need to start using like a proper tripod. The only thing is like I can't get these top-down views with like a normal tripod. There's our 1080. Fun fact about this GTX 1080. 1050. GTX 1050 Ti. This was the first and only GPU I have bought brand new. And this thing has been with me for forever. Don't know what I'm going to do with it now. I am building a computer for someone else, but I can't give this card up for some reason. So we'll figure out something else to put this into. Maybe the server machine. It's a possibility. Anyway, have our slots open now. This is a Wi-Fi card. Wi-Fi 6 card down here, as well as Bluetooth that goes to a USB 2, and then an extra NVMe and a SATA M.2 as well. This card does both of those. That's why there's that SATA cable there. All right, let's see if we can pull more. I really don't want to take that out if I don't have to. Okay. That should be enough. Hoping that that's enough. Just if anyone is curious, there's also an SSD under this and an SSD right there. Okay. Let's go ahead and throw in the 3080 Ti first. Oh, right, the size comparison. It's like the 3080. Let's do it like that. 3080 is slightly longer. As far as the thickness goes, yeah, the 3080 is a little bit thicker. I'm really hoping that this is still able to fit into 2 slots. Guess we're gonna find out. This is going to be really tight. This is going to be really tight. Is it in its spot? I can't tell. Can't feel it. Ooh, I don't know. I think that's going to have to come out. I was really hoping that that was going to fit just fine. I figured it would be close. For the moment, I'm just going to put it there, just for the moment, so that I can get this guy in and then go from there. Okay. So that's in. Dusty. This is interesting to contort. Okay, I will get to that in a second. Can I get this to fit? Another issue is kind of going to be covering that fan. So that's in there, but the fan can spin. The screw holes do not line up that well. Dare I also try and fit this in here? Unfortunately, I need the 1080 not just for the second GPU tasks that I do, but also for yeah, that's rough. But also because I need that DVI port. Okay. That fan does still spin. Both cards are in there. I think I can make that work. So we are going to move that up as far as we can. Pretty much already is. And just slowly work our way down. Of course, I hit you guys again. Alright, I gotta move you guys for a second here. So we got it in there. We figured it out. However, the issue is now that the GPU is sagging a little bit. It's interfering with the Wi-Fi card. So, yeah. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do now. I mean, theoretically, I know the solution is underneath this 1080 is like, it's like an M.2, but not for a Wi-Fi chip. And I can get that. They're cheap enough. Wi-Fi 6 as well. I really wanted it to be on PCIe. And I think it will be with that. I really want to keep this card in there. But, and I can't pull that card out because that has an SSD with games and other stuff on it. And I can't connect that up without that card, so I guess I am using a USB 3 Wi-Fi adapter for the moment until I get the ones that go into that slot. That's what that looks like. Man, came so close. And I don't have anything to prop the GPU up with. Yeah, you see how the fan moved? Dang it. Okay, so long story short, it's not going to work. This card is just, it's pretty much as thin as it can be, and the two, this isn't going to fit there, unfortunately. So this card is going to go. I have ordered this M.2 Wi-Fi card, Wi-Fi 6 plus Bluetooth 5.3, which I believe is better than the Bluetooth on this one, 5.0. I am building a computer for someone, so that might get thrown into there. Don't know. Might go take apart the bedroom PC and see what the Wi-Fi situation is there, because the Wi-Fi in there is on a USB 3 Wi-Fi stick. And so if there's room to throw a Wi-Fi card in there, I might throw that one in there. It also adds Bluetooth to that computer, so we'll see. But yeah, so this slot is going to be empty. I'm going to put a Wi-Fi card there. That should be here tomorrow. So yes, I'm going to assemble this to play on it and test it, only to take it back apart tomorrow to get into there. It's just how it is. And then I'm going to move this bracket down to this one, because that slot will not be in use anymore. And then the Wi-Fi bracket, there's wires that comes off of the chip and onto a PCIe bracket for the antennas. So that's going to end up there. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this in. Round 2 or 3? I think it's 2. Round 2. Things should fit so much easier this time. We got to move this bracket over real quick. Take that bracket out for the moment. We are just going to put this screw back in. This card down here, this is a 4X card because of that NVMe SSD slot. So it's currently plugged into a 4X wired connector. The connector itself is 16X, but it only has 4X. Only has 4 PCIe lanes going to that slot electrically. Make sure both of these are down. And honestly, this is probably for the better. That way this card is able to breathe. Let's get this out of here. That way this card is able to breathe better. Because it is a powerful card, and it is going to produce a fair bit of heat. There we go. So, definitely want to give that as much breathing room as it can get while still having the 1080 in. And then have our 1080. Very carefully. It almost makes me wish I had gotten a different 3080 video card. But then I remember, you know, I'm throwing the 1080 in there as well. It needs room to breathe. Could I have gone with a... Come on. Could I have gone with a 2.5 slot, 3 slot card? Yes, I could. But then it's going to be right up against... And it's going to be right up against the 1080. You know, and then it won't have as much breathing room. And in a system like this, you need the breathing room, you know. I'll give that a little bit of a gap just so that the fan on the 1080 is fine. And then we go ahead and screw in the rest of our stuff. And then, like I said, there's nothing there. There's no bracket there for the moment. But I'm not going to go and dig out a bracket when tomorrow all I'm going to do is fill that bracket back in. Okay, and one more. I also did find a screw to put into that oh yeah, that's right, that's a thing. That thing is a little bent. I did also find a screw to put into that M.2 Wi-Fi. Excuse me, I have to go fish a screw out now. Alright, one screw fished out of a graphics card later. Everything is screwed in. Everything seems to be okay. All the fans are moving. All the fans are spinning. Actually, I didn't check this one in here, but it looks like it should be fine. Should be fine. Is there a way I can get in there and check that? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. All these are fine. This is getting as much room as it can possibly get. No card in there anymore to hog up that space. Now, connector close. Like that. Like so. Okay. And again, I'm hoping that this power supply can handle everything. If it can't, I can probably order a new one next week. We'll go there. Maybe something like so. That's okay. These will get stuffed down into this corner, theoretically. Then, of course, this PCIe connection is upside down from the rest. So why not? There we go. As I said, those can get stuffed down into there. Okay. We have our graphics cards installed. Let's get it upright. Make sure any sagging isn't any there. Make sure there aren't any major issues with sagging. And then go from there. That's moderate sag factor. I can't get my finger in there anymore, but just looking at it from the side here, looks like it's fine. Whoop! Fell out of the mount. Get that back in there. Alright. So now, let's go ahead and clean the side panels and then get those back on. Alright, here we go. First running with the 1080. We are looking at 98 to 100, average of 98. Okay. I'm gonna let this run for a minute. I think I'm gonna go for 3 minutes, and then we'll see how we do. Which one is which GPU? It's GPU 2, the 1080. Well, which one's getting hot? Bottom one. Alright. We'll come back in a minute. Or 3 minutes. I said, yeah, 3 minutes. We'll come back in 3 minutes. Alright. About to hit the 3-minute mark. We have hit the 3-minute mark. We have gone down to a minimum of 92, average of 97, and the GPU itself is hitting 78 degrees. I think it's finally topping out. It does run a little hotter because of the configuration that it's in. I don't think the 3080 Ti will be any better. It'll probably be a little worse, but we'll see what happens. I do hear the fans ramping up a little bit, but it's still fairly quiet. So yeah, we're looking at average of 96. Now, it is starting to go down a little bit after getting warmed up. But yeah. Alright, well, on to, let's see if I can get the F121 benchmark going. Alright, so this is on the 2K monitor in F1. Technically, because I'm running it on this monitor, I won't be able to test it with the 3080 Ti, but I can test how much FPS I lose dropping that 1080 down to the bottom slot. So here we go. Those were the settings that I was using. I just think this will be interesting. And unfortunately, I do need to keep the 1080 in the system as the second GPU. My current second GPU is a 1050 Ti. But in order to run F1 and some other games, the monitor it's connected to needs to render it. So this is just how it is, unfortunately. Got 86 right now. Actually, I believe this monitor is 2.5K. It's like 2160 or something by something else. And this monitor, like I said, it's DVI only, and no adapters work for it that I've been able to get my hands on. I've tried a powered, active DisplayPort adapter to DVI-D dual link. It can't do 2.5K. It can do 2K, but it cannot do 2.5K. There's green artifacting everywhere. Alright, looks like 100 FPS? Anywhere between 90 to 100. Make that anywhere between 90 to 110. Alrighty. Alright, I will come back on the third lap and we will see if it drops anymore. Alright. So it looks like we're still hovering around the same FPS. It has dropped off a little bit. In this section we're down to 87. GPU sitting at 80 degrees. CPU is at about 60. And yeah, we're not hitting the hundreds anymore. It's definitely worn down a bit. Just because it's running a little hot. 100, 106, 103, 104. Now we're in the tunnel. 103. Yeah. It's about what I mean, for a 1080 running F121 at 2.5K, that's not bad at all. then I'll be able to run some games on the 3080 Ti and then just have it pass it through to the 1080. I've done that before with certain tasks. We'll lose a little bit of FPS, but see if we can get this to finish up here. I've actually never done an F1 benchmark, so interested to see what happens at the end. Nope, nothing. Okay. Oh, 1600, I got it confused with that one there. I think it's still 2.5K, because this is 1440, or something by 1440, this is something by 1600. I don't know, not entirely sure, but average FPS, maximum FPS, and minimum FPS. Not bad, not bad. Alright, I will see you when we go to upgrade the computer. Alright, we have gonna run the same benchmark as before. This time we are on the 3080 Ti. Alright. Getting about half extra FPS. 152. We are sitting at 80 degrees right now. Which is about the same as what the 1080 was. It's 12 gigs of VRAM. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright, so that's solid. Let's see what F1 does. Now that it's running on the 1080 still with the 2K monitor, it should be about the same FPS. Alright, loading in here. Same settings as before. Looks like the FPS has gone down. Which I kind of saw coming. Instead of the... it's like between 108 and 90 FPS, we're down to 80 to 70. Which I kind of suspected might happen. Alright, we'll see what happens once we get into the third lap. The main issue with running it like this, and again, one of the reasons the 1080 is in there is to run this 2.5K monitor, and for some stuff, it will render on the 3080 Ti and then copy that over to the 1080. And you will still lose frames like that as well, but I still get to use this monitor, which is DVI-D Dual Link 2.5K only. And the other thing is that the 1080, with it being in that second slot, is not only running on the chipset instead of the CPU, but it's also a 4X slot instead of a 16X slot. So, you know, for people who are running dual GPUs or are running a monitor on the second GPU, that's something to keep in mind, is that its raw performance in games is going to be degraded. That's just how it is. Okay, we are on the third lap here, and it is running close to the same. We're hitting into the 60s now. We're still getting into the 70s. I think going into the tunnel, we're still hitting 80, something like that, maybe. It is currently 77 degrees, and it was hitting 80 before. So between either it only running on a 4X slot, or there's 83. You know, it only running on a 4X slot, or it you know, running through the chipset or whatever, or just where it is location-wise in the computer, it's not getting as hot. It's getting close, but it's not getting as hot. Yeah, that's, you know, this is pretty much what I expected. And it still looks perfectly fine. And where push comes to shove, you just turn the settings down a little bit, get like 10 more FPS or something like that. Alright, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we will see you in the next one. Have a good one.